Real Estate Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. Well, Dave Ramsey spoke, so the internet's freaking out. It's interesting. We've got people that make billions of dollars a year giving information, giving advice, right? And we're going to talk about that today. Right out of the street, Dave Ramsey says it is time to buy a house. Mortgage rates decline. And the internet goes into a frenzy. It's like when Jim Cramer talks. But yet people don't seem to remember when Jim Cramer and Dave Ramsey were talking about the stock market is a great place to put your money in 1999, 2000, right? They don't remember when they talk about, you know, hey, I wouldn't worry about this Lehman Brothers thing. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Time to buy a house. Get into the stock market. Well, now the ninja's here, and I'm going to put it right on the line just like them. And it's interesting. Dave Ramsey came out with a video, and I made a video about Dave about saying now's the time to buy a house. You're crazy if you don't, in June of 2022. Now, I heard the certain people talking like that sold their personal residence for like a lot of money that same exact month. They also go and tell you that gold's a horrible thing to do. Don't buy gold, right? Of course, it's at an all-time highs. And at the same time, if you would have bought a house, when Dave Ramsey said last time, you know, you're an idiot if you don't, I think was his exact words. I made a video about it. You can go back and look. It was June of 2022. National median home prices are now down, right? Brand new homes, new construction, our prices are down 18%. So if you would have bought, then you are negative. All right. So let's dive in. All right, let's because Dave does make good points, but you can make a few good points and then be dead wrong on other things. And if you listen and you act in the wrong timing, that's it. Now, here's the deal. Everyone here is selling something. So am I. I sell a course on how to prepare for this real estate crash. I started it last year. I'm about to close it at the end of December because I wanted to make it available to the masses, and then we're going bigger with the course. A company is taking on that course. But since I started that, I said, okay, you're going to watch for this, 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 and this, and then this, and this is going to happen, and then you're going to do this. And guess what? It's been a year, and a lot of that's already came true. If you just, I'm sure some of my amazing students will tell you from down below that they've taken that course and they've seen it. We now have students buying houses, properties, duplexes, quadplexes, but they're buying them right. You can't just blanket go, oh, rates are down, it's time to buy. So let's dive into this story. Let me know what you believe down below. And I mean, you can't make this stuff up. All right. Mortgage rates significantly shifted lower in November, and personal finance expert Dave Ramsey says, if you are ready, now may be the time to buy a house. So that's a lot different than the title, right? It's like, if you're ready, now maybe. All right. So again, and I'm telling you, there's so much freaking clickbait out there. I'm not blaming Dave Ramsey right now. We're going to read the story and see how it reads, and we're going to talk about it. It says here, but being ready means a few critical things need to be in place before taking the jump. Ever heard someone say, should you buy a house? Or that renting is a lot like flushing a whole bunch of money down the toilet every month? He asked on Dave Ramsey Solutions. Yeah, we've heard that stuff too, and it's nonsense. The truth is, not everyone should buy a house. The best-selling author is not being pessimistic, but he is setting up the financial reality for people who want to purchase a home, and now may well be that time to do it. Okay, let me stop because I haven't read this story beforehand, okay? Let me stop and tell you right now. We are in the midst of an epic downturn in real estate. Dave Ramsey does not believe that. He also is on record multiple times saying that homes only went down for a few months. That is a direct quote from Dave Ramsey in just a few locations during the Great Recession. 100% wrong. 100% wrong, all right? If I had an editor, I'd pop it in there. That is absolutely not true. National home prices, median home prices fell. They didn't fall a whole lot, but they fell across the board in the nation. And it didn't happen for a few months. Actually, those homes dropped for 4 years, all right? Now, we are in the midst of this. This is bigger than the Great Recession. There's so many data indicators pointing to that. I really keep all that technical stuff in the course because that's what people pay for, right? Out of respect for them. But you've seen me talking about this stuff for 2 years, 3 years, warning about this. And all the lies that are going on in the government and the Federal Reserve, actually the Fed's not even lying to you. They're straight up telling you, we're not lowering rates. We're going to keep them higher for longer. We may even have to raise a little bit more to make sure we do the job, do the deed for crushing inflation, which means crushing the consumer, which means they want higher unemployment. Jerome Powell has been very honest in saying all this. I got to give him so much credit. I don't give credit to lying people in the social media and in the mainstream media, like Bloomberg coming out and saying just straight up lies. Well, you know, based off what he said, he might as well have just came out and said he's going to lower rates. That is insanity. But hey, that's what's exciting. See, the crazier a market gets, the easier it is to take advantage of that market, all right? And there are going to be a lot of deals. There already are deals. If you were to buy a house a year ago, or wait today, instead of a year ago, like in certain places in California and Austin, all that stuff, you'd save 10%. You can't make this up. I do it all the time. I've done it live. Like, type below what city you think hasn't dropped. I'll go on realtor.com and I'll just page one. I'll find multiple price reductions. It's so easy, but it's going to get even better, all right? Now, there's a little bit of turbulence we're going to have to face. I've already let my students know that, and I've got, by the way, a bonus course coming out in a week, a bonus lesson, I apologize, a bonus lesson coming out, very important, and it's what Dave Ramsey hates, gold. God, he hates God's money. He hates it. He hates it. That should tell you something, but that's okay. I don't hate God's money. I love it because it has wealth attached to it, respect and honor. It has something because I'm not chasing after returns that Satan has out there. But that's okay. It's a different little storyline. Sorry, I digress, but I think people need to understand that. So we go on here as a quote. If you sign on the dotted line on a new home when you aren't prepared financially and emotionally, the house will wind up being a curse instead of a blessing, Ramsey suggested. That's right. If you would have listened to Dave a year ago and you were ready financially, it doesn't matter if you got extra money, you would have lost money value on the house. Now, would you be paying more in a mortgage today? Yeah, you would, because rates went up. But you have to understand, when rates go up, prices go down. And if you wait to the other side, the panic side, the sun's going to come out tomorrow and you're going to be crushing it. So right now, you need to be thinking patience, but not a lot of people think about the patience. He says it will wind up owning you instead of the other way around when you are prepared to buy a house, though it can be a wonderful blessing for your family and a great way to build wealth. Well, I have to be honest with you. I think the best way to build wealth is to buy assets cheap at the right time and then let other people pay for them. That's the way. However, most people don't have the ability to be patient and think through the process of building wealth. So their house is the biggest piggy bank they're ever going to have. So if you're going to have something rather than nothing, sure, go for it. But yes, you have to be so ready to go, I need to look at way more than where I'm working. And I have to look at the macro, the geopolitical landscape of the world, not only the US. See, elites, big, really wealthy people, you know, centimillionaires and up, billionaires, they don't think about what's just happened in our country. They think about what's happening in the world because they're wanting to project out the next 5 or 10 years. That's how they make wealth. That's what I want to bring to you. I want you thinking about that kind of stuff. And you got to think bigger to get into bigger places in life. All right? So it says here, Ramsey offered a list of critical things to consider when making the determination that the major financial opportunity is in order. It says, first off, make sure that you are free of debt. Okay, so I completely agree with that, actually. I think you should be free of debt. However, if you're paying $3,000 in rent and an opportunity comes out to where you can put the minimum down, you feel good about your job, your financial situation, you have some reserves set aside, but you still have a car payment and some credit card debt deal, but you can actually qualify for a payment with the minimum down. And I'm talking, you have to have reserves on the side where your payment's $2,500. Should you do that? Yeah, I think you should. I know it sounds crazy, doesn't it? But you have to be disciplined. Everything in life, all success comes down to how disciplined you are. That's it. All right? So they talk about the first steps of baby steps, right? Because they want to sell you some books. No problem there. I'm selling something too. I don't mind. But here's the thing. Does the product produce results? That's the question. He says a 20% down payment is ideal since it means you'll avoid paying for private mortgage insurance. Well, the truth is, you know, you could put down what? You could do 0 down and you'll pay a higher rate. Now, check this out. Think about this. There are loans out there like USDA loans and all kinds of stuff where you can put 0 down and you will pay a higher rate and sometimes points, but I don't ever pay points. I don't want to pay points. I don't want you to pay points, but you pay a higher rate. If the numbers still work and you can walk into something because of a government program where you are paying less than rent and your roots are set up, and then you have a plan. You're like, I know that I could turn around because I have emergency funds and I'm paying down debt, and now I'm able to pay down an extra of that same number, right? I'm paying $3,000 right now a month. I'm moving into a house for $2,500. Even if it goes down in payment, it's a fixed payment. Never, ever get adjustable rates unless you're flipping homes. My point being is that, okay, now, worst case scenario, I rent it out. Can I rent it? Can I still make it? When you take all that into consideration and you're disciplined, heck yeah, you should do that. But the thing is, how often do people get 20% down? Very rarely. And it puts people back. Now, there's a lot of things to consider, tons of things. I list all that out and give checklists and do all that stuff in my course because it's important for people to take advantage of the entire picture. They look and assess the entire picture, right? But right now, there's a lot of things moving, and I wouldn't be a buyer in this real estate market. Absolutely not. Because I care more about the underlying price of the asset than the payments. I hope that makes sense. Type 1 if it does. See, because what happens is when the crash is well underway, which we actually already are well underway, and the price of the asset's dropping, and yeah, the price of the payment, it's dropping because the price is going up. There's actually a point at which the Fed does pivot and the price goes down. And by then, everyone's scared crapless, and they're thinking you're nuts for buying homes. This is exactly what I did in 2001, 2002. I was buying homes as rates were plummeting because everyone else was scared crapless to buy homes. And it's very easy to see this. We saw the exact same cycle play out in 2010 to 2011. But this is why we have bubbles. He says the next sign that you're ready to buy a house is when your budget can handle house payments. Specifically, your monthly house payment should never be more than 25% of your take-home pay. Well, I got to be honest with you, that's pretty darn rough in this day and age. Those are some big headwinds. Then that's the reason why we are in such a house crisis right now. You know, he goes on to say, be ready for closing costs. This is all just normal stuff, right? But the point being is that right now is not the time ultimately to buy a house. I don't think it is. Because if you thought it was, you'd think that it was going to appreciate. And the only reason that home is going to appreciate, I'm telling you this right now, and Dave Ramsey isn't telling you this because he doesn't believe in it at all, just like he doesn't believe in gold. Yet gold's appreciating to real estate right now pretty rapidly, and you'll see what happens the next 2 years. Point being is this, that's not financial advice. But I'd be remiss to leave this, not tell you this part. We are in a moment where if you only care about the monthly payment, you're thinking like a poor person. You see, Warren Buffett and other famous investors have said, you make money the day you buy an asset, not the day you sell it. Because if you buy it right, you're going to be able to weather not only storms, but you're going to make money in appreciation. The appreciation portion of that is a pie in the sky if you just buy it whenever you want. If you think it through, and right now those assets are falling in dollar terms, we're in a moment that if you buy right, and when I say a moment, we're talking multiple years here. If you're ready for this, which most people were not ready because they missed a simple credit card payment, back in 2007, 2008, it's going to knock most buyers out of the market. You're not going to have a whole lot of competition. But if you don't know how these cycles work ahead of time and are investing in yourself and studying and learning all these trends, if you're just swayed by what somebody says on the internet, you're going to lose. You should take everything I say with a grain of salt and go test every word I say. But really, when it comes down to it, it's the underlying asset value is what matters the most. And I think you're going to see some amazing panic here in the next year. Point being is this. If you want to get ready, do it now. If you don't, you just want to go listen to people and go do what they say online, well, then go do that. We'll see who's right in the next few years. With that being said, I thank you so much for watching. If you want, I bundled the courses. The course is getting closed, the How to Prepare for Real Estate Crash, and I added 2 bonus courses. Everything gets shut down the end of December, and we take it to the next level. Thank you so much to all my amazing students. And hey, thank you, Dave Ramsey, for giving me some content. This is awesome. It's just like June of 2022 all over again. With that being said, the Real Estate Ninja is out.